can always go downtown.
You can indeed always go downtown. And that is just what we're going to do today. In Voxport City, we're going to create the most amazing downtown area. So, without further ado, let's get building. Starting it off with prepping the area, of course. Had to buy some tiles, had to do some terraforming on the area to make it to my liking, but that went very, very smooth, no pun intended. And now we are creating the highway entrance to the downtown area right here. Just a basic three-way interchange is what we're doing here. I think this one turned out really, really well. I do like it. And this is the finished result. I think it looks really, really cool. Turned out really good. I used some seawalls, of course, to make it look even nicer. Could use some decorations looking at it now in post-production. So I will potentially go back in off camera and do some more decorating, you know, with some walls, some fences, some sound barriers, and make it look even nicer. Moving on to the starting area of our downtown, and I do think this looks really, really cool. I definitely wanted to do something with canals, sort of a Venice type deal. It doesn't really look like Venice, but with the canals just having some water features in the downtown area, not too much. And this is how the basic layout turned out. Love how the water flows in here. Looks very satisfying. Created this connection from the island. Wasn't really 100% satisfied with this bridge, so I went into the Bridges and Piers Content Creator Pack and upgraded it to this bridge. I really like this one and used that one for this part right here. Then I started with the road layout. This took me some time because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do here. I knew I wanted to go gridded because it's a downtown area, and I don't think gridded is a wrong thing to do in a downtown area. And it just, again, it took me some time, but in the end, I do believe it was totally worth it, sinking all that time into. Obviously, I wanted to put in some seawalls as well, just to make the look a bit nicer, a bit cleaner here, if you will. And I do think it turned out amazing that way. I also added some walking paths in the mix just to make it more pedestrian friendly and to encourage the citizens from walking as well. I also decided to add in some fencing around the canals just because I think it would make sense in real life if these sort of canals had those fences. Super amazing. This is how the finished road layout looks. Very gridded, but I think very downtown-like. And then we actually focused the attention on this top half. Started with this because I wanted to create a custom park here. Few issues here and there with the layout, but eventually I got it the way I want it to look. And now we're just going to fill out the park area with the park assets, of course. I also fenced in the newly created amusement park just because, again, it would be like that in real life, and already the citizens are going wild. They cannot wait to get on the rides. So amazing. And this is how it looks after we fill it out with some trees and some shrubbery. I think this one turned out so good. Love that little lighthouse there. I love the fact that we have Move It in City Skylines, where we can just move the props across the map. So amazing. Looking really good. This was a really fun build. It was super cool. Creating some more connections between the over the canals. Obviously, we do need more connections. And of course, some not just for cars, but also for pedestrians. Then I started with the actual downtown area, decided to add some parks and some of the parking lots in between the walking paths to fill out those little gaps. Also downtown, we do need a lot of parking in the area, and then I filled it out with some buildings. Cannot forget services when you're building new areas, so I also added the schools, the high capacity elementary and high school, to give the citizens the education they need, they deserve. High capacity hospital, and look at the ambulances go. Oh, wow. Next up, obviously downtown, we need a lot of height, so I decided to look for some skyscrapers. This was so much fun to do, but overall, this entire build, I think this is going to be like a 20-25-ish minute video. This build took me over 4 hours to complete. Multiple sessions. I did like each, I think I did an hour, like 4 sessions, each 1 hour to build this. Also because I got distracted a lot. Also, I cannot forget public transit. Metro obviously being my favorite. It carries a lot of people in very, very fast ways, and it also is underground, so it doesn't bother your road layout, your networks, and I think Metro is the best way to get your people across the city. Obviously, we needed to connect the islands with, or the island with, some public transport. I do love to use Metro. Later on, we're also going to use monorail, and of course, since we have the body of water, a ferry as well. There we had the progress that I did so far, and now continuing with searching for buildings and plopping them down. I love this little walkway here that I placed here as well with the trees, the elevated walking path next to the canal. Continuing with the walking path to make it sort of symmetrical, but also just because I really like how this looks. Just looks really, really good. I always tried to keep the skyline in mind when looking at it from a bit of a distance. So, and boom, there we go. Almost all filled out this area. That is how it looked so far. And then I had the idea for something in between or inside of this massive roundabout, this entrance here. I just thought like this building would look really, really cool in there. And obviously I had to place it, and just look at that. I think this looks really, really amazing. This thing is really, really cool. Obviously, we had to adjust the pillars here because, yeah, they were in the middle of the road, but that's fine. We have Move It, so that's pretty good. And I just love how this building looks in there. So amazing. I end up taking out this building that's in front here, as you've seen in the beginning of the video for the intro. But this is where we're at overall. And then it was time to decorate some of the smaller gaps in between the big buildings, also underneath the highway right here. And this was a ton of fun. I loved creating these little detailed areas underneath the highway and in between the gaps of the high-rise buildings. This, like, so much fun to do. I realized I had day-night cycle turned on, which is why it was so dark in here, but I do turn that off in just a moment. There you go. Did you see that difference in the lighting? I just completely forgot. I just completely forgot. Loved how this whole area is turning out with some parks, some park assets from the parks tab. Like, oh my god, this is something that I really love to do in City Skylines. The detailing, these little areas here. Love to see when the citizens instantly use your newly created areas. That is so much fun. And this is how the area turned out. Super, super cool. I really like that.
A few moments later.
And there we go. This is the finished result. We have everything that we wanted. Placed some more buildings, some trees, and I really love how the downtown area turned out. I didn't go for that much height on the second part of the island, but I think overall this is really, really amazing. Lots of areas still open for some decorating, of course. I've added a ton of trees in here as well, and the monorail, it makes it just so much more accessible. We have a ferry in there, and I do think this turned out so good. I've also placed a London Eye, some more attractions for the citizens. They are loving it. And I'm going to leave you off with some aesthetic shots. This is an overview. Oh my god, this is so amazing, and we have so much room to expand. Now I'm thinking next up maybe a university type area next to the downtown. We'll see how that goes. I will plan for that, But I hope you do enjoy some more cinematic shots. Here we have a monorail ride. You see the ferry on the side as well. I had so much fun building this. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and please stay safe out there. Bye-bye.